Hey Ryan, we are back. This is episode six, seven,
Seven.
six, seven, seven.
Seven.
Okay. Wow. I think it's going pretty well. I think that I honestly don't know how we find the time to do this because I I know that you're working with at least 30 plus brands a week, and so are we. And I know that we were slammed, but you know what? A smart man once said that if you want something done, give it to the busiest person you know. And I think that applies to us. I think that we're freaking slammed, but still we somehow make it happen.
That's definitely us. I mean, no question. It's there's a lot that goes on every week. It's a blur. It's just a blur.
And on top of that, not only is it making it happen, you're also in Cape Town, which is crazy. Like, what is it? What is it like? It's like happy hour over there right now.
Well, it should be for me, but I'm working. In fact, this is not a beer.
Awesome. Well, you're on happy hour time as you should be. It's 9:56 in the morning for me, so I'm drinking Starbucks. But this is what we do. This is we push through. We make it happen. We do whatever it takes, and we keep our ear to the ground, always trying to see what's the next thing we can do to grow the brands. I did one before we get into our presentation today. You were telling me something about, I thought it was a pretty fun story, was about your grocery shopping experience in South Africa and how it was different than America.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone in the States knows how expensive meat is, and not just any meat, like really good meat. Like if you know, grade A, really good meat. And so we arrived in South Africa, and it happened to be extremely cheap on an international standard. Like
How cheap?
so, so cheap that I bought $300 worth of food, which in America, in the States or in the Caribbean, where I'm living currently, you know, $300 worth of meat specifically might last 3 4 days, maybe, you know, depending on the cuts and what I buy. But I bought so much because I was so excited about how good it was and how good the prices were that when I brought it home, my wife was yelling at me because we took everything out the fridge and we still didn't have enough space to put it all away. So yeah, it's easily enough for 4 5 6 weeks, you know, and if I really go piggy on it, like maybe 3 weeks if I'm eating every day, just amazing meat. I'm talking lamb, steak, you know, just amazing stuff. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's always this political agenda going on in the world, and I know South Africa has been highlighted for all kinds of politics and stuff. But you know, there is always a silver lining, and South Africa is still beautiful, and it's still affordable. And if you're in the right place, it's still nice. But you always got to keep one eye open, always, no matter where you are in this country.
Absolutely. Just to give you an inburst to your shopping story, I went to Costco over the weekend and I did some grocery shopping. And so I'm still blown away with how much money we spend on shopping. So we leave and we spend somewhere between $500 to $800. So and then we still have to go to Publix and we still have to go to Aldi's. And then in 2 weeks we still have to do some touch-up shopping, which it's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Like $1,000 might last you for 2 weeks. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Especially if you have a family, yeah.
Yeah, family of four. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I remember when I was in South Africa a few years ago, I remember spending $100 at the grocery store, and the manager would come out and thank me personally for my business and give me a piece of chocolate, which to me was very much a culture shock. As $100 in America, I feel like I spend $100 every time I leave my house. So it was very much it was interesting, as well as the food went bad in South Africa because it was fresh. And somehow America, the food doesn't go bad, which is incredibly suspicious. So and you know what? The whole time I was there, I ate everything I wanted. It was amazingly affordable, and I didn't gain any weight. I came back to America, gained 30 pounds in 3 months. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely something to be desired. Well, speaking of being desired, let's get into our show today. So today, I believe we're doing a presentation on leveraging creators to boost your brand.
Yeah, big topic.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. How to use influencer marketing and TikTok collabs to scale fast. This is a very good topic, and it's not just TikTok, it's not just Meta. It's honestly something you should be doing part of your brand strategy on all platforms, as it's becoming essential in your strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's part of Meta, and it obviously is all of TikTok. But there's more to it than just a video. Obviously, if it's a true influencer, what I mean by a true influencer, if it's a person that really influences people because of who they are, not a creator who's just creating a video, their audience and their following will now be aware of your product. So I know a couple of episodes ago we did touch points. This specific medium and way of introducing people to your brand is the most effective way that you could do it, hands down, because you got their audience if they're a true influencer. And then, of course, you've got videos, which is all that you should be using for the first few touch points of your brand. Videos. People watch. There's a lot of information in a video that can go past a person's eyes in a few seconds.
Absolutely. I did want to share one thing that I thought, just to touch on it. The definition of influence is a person or thing that influences another. And I like video, and images are good because you kind of get those lifestyle, and you see how maybe that product would look for you. But a video takes it so much further, as well as getting as well as their take on it, and the way that they use it personally is so much more relatable than typically what the brand curates for their audience. And I think that it is definitely a must do in our marketing efforts today. Why creators marketing matters? 92% trust rate. Interesting. This is interesting, and I think you could also add here that the distrust in branded content is probably at an all-time high. I think that I say it multiple times, all the time, is that people don't trust what a brand says unless they have 1,000 reviews.
Yeah. On Amazon these days, if you're in any niche that means anything, the top guys, hundreds of thousands of reviews.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. I mean, you just like, you cannot get in there. You cannot get in there. So, yeah, I would say the 92% trust rate. And there's one part that I like about what we're looking at here, and this is in real time. So, and I'd like to touch on lives. I'm not a live expert, but I can tell you that when I'm on TikTok, so personally, I'm a music lover. So actually what comes up on my feed when I'm on TikTok is people playing live music, like little gigs. Like they've got their little setup and they're playing music. And every now and then TikTok will jam in an ad. Probably more than every now and then. But anyway, what always gets me is the lives. Okay, so these pre-recorded videos, unless it's something I really care about. And I'm a pretty simple person. There's very few things that I care about. It's my family, a little bit of surfing, and some good barbecue. That's it. Those are my interests. So anybody out there want to sell something to me? If you're not in those three, I'm not going to buy it. So, it's very hard to get me engaged in anything other than those three things. However, when it's alive, I watch it. I almost bought, and I don't need it at all. I almost bought a projector TV for $35 on TikTok because it was just thrown at me so hard. And I was watching these guys live, and they were like, look at the definition. The one guy's playing video games, the other one's watching Netflix. Like, I scroll through, I watch another music video, I scroll through again, and there's this damn projector all the time. And I was like, look how big this thing is. I'm like, man, that is huge. It's awesome. I was like, I need one of these things. It's only $35. Let me buy it now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That is good influencer marketing right there. They got their hook in you, and that was great. Lives are huge in China, and TikTok is really pushing that to catch on in the US. And I think that there are certain people that convert differently on different stuff. So for me, I typically buy things at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't sleep, and I'm scrolling, and it's probably the stupidest thing in the world. I absolutely don't need it. But I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I need a coat rack that also is a water gun or something. Like
Hang your shoes on the
it's
side.
always something just very stupid. Yeah, like, or it's something nice for the missus. And so I've been known to buy like I don't know romantic things, and so that 3 o'clock in the morning, all impulse purchases, absolutely buy stuff that I absolutely don't need. But the rest of the time, I don't necessarily do it. So everybody's different. Everybody has different shopping patterns, and there's marketing that applies to each person, and and it's important to know your audience.
Yeah.
Okay, types of creators and their value. Nano, under 10,000 followers, niche audiences, highest trust and engagement. Interesting. Interesting. Micro, 10 to 100,000, affordable scale, balance of reach and authenticity. Mid tier, 100 to 500,000, broad reach, professional content creation. Macro and celeb, 500,000, massive exposure, brand prestige, and awareness. That is very interesting. I will say I do have an interesting story about the macro and celeb. If you were to ask Paris Hilton to do a story about your bag, your purse, your product, you're probably talking 250,000 to a million for a story. Something absolutely ludicrous. However, in the inverse, if you found somebody who is very up and coming, someone had 1,500 followers, they would be happy to make 10 to 20 videos that resonate with your brand for on a performance base where they're just making commission. And so I personally, if I was to pick or say the ones that I like to work with, I like to work within the nano to the micro. This is my wheelhouse. Above here, you have people that know their value, and some of them are realistic, and some of them are just full of it, and it's kind of going to their head a bit. And I don't really want to work with people like that. I really work with people who are a little bit hungrier, kind of trying to make a name for themselves, and kind of a little bit willing to go the extra mile to kind of work with your brand. So I like the bottom half, and to this day, the biggest video that I've gotten made for a brand that sold 400 units in 30 minutes and continues to be viral and just absolutely crush it. The person had 1,500 followers. So again, like I said, I personally am a big advocate of the top two, the nano and the micro.
I agree. I've also had the most success with those two, mid-tier, macro, and celeb. It's just not realistic or affordable for most of the brands and the brand owners that are watching this, that are listening to this, and that are wanting to make this a part of their growth strategy.
I very much agree. Creators don't realize that it has to be scalable for the brand. And honestly, unless you're Golly giving away Lamborghinis and condominiums, like most brands just can't do that. It's just not. It's not scalable. It's not sustainable. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, so this one I love. Where do creators fit in your funnel? Top of funnel, what are they going to do? Viral unboxing videos. TikTok made me buy it content. And trend participation with products. So, 100% this is my go-to for this kind of content, for creator content, influencer content. I almost exclusively use it for top of funnel. And unboxing, I mean, it kind of maybe, I think could be boring depending on how they do it. So I'm not much of a fan of an unbox, but I am a fan of using it and results. Okay, so when a creator or an influencer is actually using my product or my client's product and showing the real results, like that silly example, nothing to do with anyone that I know, but the projector. The live, it was real. Like I could see how big the screen was. I could see how clear the definition was. I could see how small the item was because he picked it up and held it in his hand. So that for me is the content that really works. And I would definitely classify that video as a top of funnel video because it's the first time I've ever seen this thing. But it was the amount of touch points that was making me want to buy it. It was the same. There were multiple of these creators doing these live. The first 10, I suppose, I really couldn't care less. But after seeing the stupid product for the 10th time, I started watching the damn thing. So again, top of funnel, multiple times, different creators, touch point, touch point, touch point. Let's go on to middle of funnel here. Eric, what do you have to say about that?
Well, one thing that I would just to back up a second. Honestly, I feel like you are one touch point away from having a $35 projector. I feel like you're this close. So yeah, I mean, honestly, probably back when you're in the Dominican Republic or states or somewhere where it can be shipped, I'm sure that purchase will happen. It feels like you're very close.
In fact, you are right, and I've got a better idea. Anybody out there that has this as their product, send it to me, and I will make the right video because I know what made me buy the thing or want to buy it. And send it to me, and I'll make you a video. I'll make you multiple videos.
There you go. There we go. An influencer in the making. The one thing I also want to touch on was the unboxing. And so what we're talking about here is presentation. We're talking about differentiation. And when you get a product that, let's say doesn't really matter what it is, but it comes in a box or it comes in an Amazon box slapped in with a poly bag, the opening experience of that product is truly whatever. But when you open up a product that came in a premium box and you open it and it's got that awe factor, it does make a huge difference. And I know you're paying an extra dollar, $2, $3 for the packaging, but the experience when you hold it in your hand, that could be the difference between selling your product for $39.99 and selling your product for $19.99 is the packaging and the experience. What that is called marketing. And that right there is very important. And that's kind of something that the unboxing does show you. If somebody opens a box with a poly bag and an FNSKU sticker on it, like that to me is just doesn't communicate value.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, when you've got a premium product with something that you can unbox, that's got a nice sticker, it's got some rice paper on top, it's just exceptionally well done. Magnets that hold it together, and it's like a box you'd almost want to keep. Okay, good.
It's so nice.
Do an unboxing video. Now you're showing something special. No one gives a crap about cutting open an Amazon box and throwing away some bubble paper. It's the worst video you could ever make.
They open the box and Amazon ships it with a box that's 9 times the size of the unit.
Yeah.
So bad, so bad. Yeah. So let's get to mid funnel. So mid funnel is very interesting. So let's just keep going with the projector. So he's kind of liking it. It's starting to resonate. You've seen it from 10 different creators. He's this close to buying it. The next thing that's going through his mind is when he's about to buy it is he's like, you know what? I need to make sure that this thing isn't a piece of garbage. So what he does is he goes and he Googles reviews or demonstrations or maybe like, is it easy to use? Maybe he looks up a tutorial or something, or maybe he compares it, which is the middle of funnel. This is really the consideration and really kind of like just doing a little bit of due diligence, which is kind of showing that you're interested. Now, if it doesn't pass this step, if they look into this and they see something where people are saying they opened it and it didn't work, and they see that the support was bad, or they blah blah blah, you probably lost them right here. But if they look into it and you've got great reviews and other like customers showing that they're using it and that they love it, well, probably within 24 hours, maybe even sooner, he could be in that same experience. Go to bottom of funnel, and he could be looking for coupons. He honestly could be purchasing, provided that the middle of funnel goes well. The bottom of funnel could easily be very soon after.
Yeah. And then, I think that, if that brand, because it was the same brand, had retargeted me with an exclusive promo code, but, granted, they were telling me it was down from 60 to 35. They were telling me that.
Of course it was.
I didn't believe it, but they were telling me that. So let's just say they gave me another exclusive promo code to make that 35, $20. I would have bought it. I mean, what can you buy for $20?
Nothing. Can't even get a good bottle of wine.
No.
People talk about that. Like, we work in marketing, so maybe we're a little bit less amazed when somebody says that they're having a deal. I was telling somebody yesterday, a client that I was talking to, and I was telling, I've seen a store that had a going out of business sale for at least 10 years now. And so it's just marketing at its finest.
All right, so I'll just start this and we can share it, Eric. So using TikTok Shop and Open Collabs, platform benefits. Streamlined affiliate-driven sales process. All right, guys, no question. If you've been watching our videos, you already know we're TikTok fans. TikTok they own this. They know what to do. They know how to make you buy. They make it very easy. And it's made for people to receive your product, make a video, and other people who are watching their live bands to see this in the middle and purchase your product because they made such a good video. Direct integration with shopping features. Again, TikTok nailed it. Super easy. One-click buy in the video. Like, super easy. Built-in tracking and analytics, and then access to TikTok's creator marketplace.
Absolutely. One thing that I would add to that is that TikTok changed the way that affiliates are treated permanently. Before this, they had to use a specific link, they had to use a specific code, they had to have something to verify that the sale came from them, and they had to be a little bit scrappy, and they had to kind of fight for what they fight for theirs, so to speak. But TikTok put them on the same level as the brand because of the value that they add. They are not just some affiliate; they are literally your business partner, and TikTok made that official, and they created that relationship, and they get paid from TikTok regardless if you want to pay them or not. They get treated with the same respect as the brand, and it's important that the brand treats them with the same respect. It is a partnership. Now, touching on this next part, it says brand control elements. So now we're talking about the different collaborations that are possible. There are 3 collaborations. I'm just going to go a little bit further than what they got here. They have the open collaboration, which is when somebody reaches out to you. There is the target collaboration when you reach out to somebody else. And there is a refundable sample. A refundable sample is something that you can turn on, which basically makes it so that the creator has the opportunity to buy your product with the hope that they generate revenue greater than the value of the product. And so once they generate, let's say it was $19.99, they generate more than $19.99 with that video, they then get a refund for that product cost. So this is a sample that does not have to be approved by the brand. You just turn it on, and they can automatically get samples under the condition that they don't get a refund unless they generate enough revenue. I personally am a big fan of that. Typically, this doesn't happen unless you have a product that is very popular or something that's really eager to do it, but it is an indicator of kind of a product's kind of trendiness and kind of excitement when you see a lot of people willing to pay for the product. So I think that those are the 3 options. Now, in those 3 options, you have settings. You have 3 settings. You have a open collaboration rate. You have a shop ad commission, and you have a target collaboration commission. So the open collaboration, they come to you. This is something that you're offering to everybody. The target collaboration percentages typically you like to offer a little bit more than when you're offering everybody because, well, you're reaching out to them, and you get a little badge if it's 1 or 2% higher, and it gets their attention somewhat, and it is good. I typically think that you should offer more. However, I would say that 95% of the commission that you should be paying is probably the shop ad commission. As soon as you spend 1 penny on advertising, now the commission reduces to the shop ad commission, regardless if they got it through open, target, or refundable. So the shop ad commission is very important. Typically, you can do 10%. If it's very popular or it's a cheaper product, you might be able to do 5%. But that's typically the range that I put my shop ad commission.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add to that. I agree with everything you said, and it works. It just works.
You have to realize that it has to be scalable and sustainable for the brand. It's not just about giving creators, getting them into beautiful houses and giving them a higher quality of life. It is about growing the brand and creating partnerships. And when done correctly, it'll be sustainable for both.
Yeah. All right. So how to submit an open collab. Setting effective parameters. Include multiple product options to give creators choice. Now, I think this is debatable. I like to focus on a hero product, but when you give creators choice, it does help because when you run promos, you're giving people choices. And it always works better to do a broad promo. Like any site-wide sale will always do better than a 20% off a specific product because not everybody wants that specific product. So include multiple product options to give creators choice. Set competitive commission rates, 15 to 25% recommended. Eric, do you agree with that?
For the open collaboration, I like 15%. For the target collaboration, I very much am okay with 20, 25. Honestly, it's something I play with. So I look at there's an outreach and then there's a sample request. If the sample requests are lower than 3%, I will increase the target collaboration because I'm not getting enough interest, and it's something that I gauge the value of my outreach. And so I do it. I play with this. One of the levers that you can play with to make sure that you're getting a sample rate of above 3%.
Yeah. And so you hit on something very important there. So your sample rates are above 3%. Is that what you look for? Is that your standard?
Honestly, above 5% is good. 3 to 5 is okay. But like if you were to look at the outreach that you can do when you start, you have 1,000 starter pack. Once you get a sale under 2,000, you get 28,000 a month. Now keep in mind, let's just take that for an example, 28,000. So that means that if you were to send out 5%, and if you were to get a sample rate at 5% of 28,000. I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my calculator. That would be, you'd be getting 1,400 samples over the course of a month. Now, out of this 1,400, there's going to be an approval process because what is a creator essentially is somebody with 1,000 followers and a cell phone. Does not mean that they make good quality. So there has to be some criteria and standards that you hold them to. So I would say that you typically approve probably maybe around 20%. So let's say you approve 20%. So now you're at 280 samples. Now that is okay, this range. But if you're not at 5%, the number gets a lot lower, makes it so you're not getting enough content, which can lead to not getting any traction, which can lead to the brand kind of having a longer period in the getting started, in the cold start. And so we typically give people, we like to say 3 to 5 months, but if your samples are low, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a very important metric, guys. Anybody that's dug into TikTok that understands what we're talking about, 3 to 5% is okay. Below 3%, no bueno. Over 5%, you're doing good. Just remember that. Key metrics. All right. Specify any mandatory disclosures or messaging. So very important. Depending, you as the brand owner, you would know exactly what's right or wrong. But there's so much legal out there. You got to make sure that these creators know the legal. If you're just giving them something like a supplement that could help appetite suppression, and all these people start doing is talking about how much weight they've lost. What a waste of time. What a waste of their time. What a waste of your time. You're just looking for trouble. So be very specific about what they can and cannot say. All right. I had a guy that had a supplement that was very good for herpes, and his creators could not say that this got rid of herpes. They could not say it. Okay, of course. So it didn't do much else. So he had a bunch of videos made, and he forgot to tell them that they couldn't say this. And then he had to redo it, and he had to think about how he's going to communicate the fact that this stops a little itch in the wrong place.
That's a tough one there. That's tough.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I did not take on the client, but
Yeah.
anyway, mandatory disclosures. As the brand, you know what they are. The creators have no idea. They're out there making videos. So make sure that they know what to do, and make sure you've already thought about the workaround. There's always a workaround. Make sure you know what the workaround is. Don't expect them to come up with the workaround. They're not there to think, guys. They're there to record a video.
Absolutely. I think that it's important to look at the quality content that they make. Do they make a hook in the beginning, and do they tell a good story after? I mean, the worst thing I mean, you look at a creator and they look at a video and it's a picture of a chair with a product on it with AI talking. I absolutely hate that kind of content. And honestly, it's not an influencer. if that takes over, there won't be any more actual influencers in a year, because that is all automatically generated with AI and automations, and it's just not personable. It's not storytelling in it, and honestly, it shouldn't influence anybody. So if I see that, I don't really want to accept that. That's basically somebody not trying. I want to see somebody telling a story that takes maybe 20 minutes to kind of prep the video, the concept, the idea, puts a little bit of effort, a little bit of love, and it shows in the quality of the video when it's done. Best practices for creator success: clear expectations, creator freedom, engage and amplify, build long-term relationships. Now I'm going to give you a little story with each one of them. So clear expectations. So as soon as a sample has shipped, we make something called a brand card, a marketing sheet, whatever you would like to call it. Essentially, it has a story from the brand to basically make them relatable, a little bit about them, as well as it has the talking points about the product, as well as the things not to talk about. So for example, the herpes situation, you would have to tell them, hey, that you can't say herpes, and you can't say that it does anything. You have to say it may, or you have to word it in a very specific way. And the brand owner will tell you what they can and cannot do, because they have been shut down before on multiple other platforms. And so you can kind of learn from what they've already gone through, but it's your responsibility to make sure that you let the creators know, because they don't know. And so in the supplement space, it's very tough. But at the same time, it can be done. You just need to make sure the clear expectations, and that they have the information that is that for the brand. Next thing is prioritize creator freedom. Sometimes people try to give them a script. They try to over control the situation. Honestly, to me, that leads to over curated garbage content. If the content that you were making was so good, why aren't you making the content? The reason you're hiring an influencer is because they have a creativity, an imagination. They have something that they can put into the video that you didn't think of, that's probably going to convert better. And so I very much agree with giving the creator the freedom to tell relatable stories, to make content that they think will resonate, because that's what they do. And when they do it well, it converts. And the next step is engage. And typically, how well a video does can be seen by how many times the video has been shared, commented on, all of these things. If you see copycats of that video, this is just indicators of good content. Nobody cares about AI content. AI influencer content is garbage. Now, fast forward a year, you'll have AI avatars holding fake products in a fake land, telling you a fake story, and it'll probably be scary, but we'll save that episode for then. Build long-term relationships? Absolutely. So once a creator exceeds $1,000, I want to know this person. I want them to be in my VIP group. I want to talk to them. I want them to be getting offers. I want them to be getting coupons. I want them to be getting other things. Like if they made $1,000 on one product, I'm going to give them every product that we're promoting, because they are now an ambassador of the brand, and I'm trying to make them feel appreciated and give them special deals and things that they may not have otherwise. That's how you grow a team, and that's how you kind of get that long-term relationship. And sometimes we do retainers. Sometimes they're that good where we want to kind of just make sure they don't get distracted, because they're getting messages by a lot of brands, and they are also running a business themselves.
All right. Case study, beauty brand success. A mid-sized beauty brand implemented an open collab strategy with 50 micro creators focusing on their new serum launch. 327% sales increase, month-over-month growth after campaign launch. 12 times ROI, return on creative program investment, 2.8 million views. Guys, the thing there that's the most exciting for me is 2.8 million views. I get it. The brand owner is going to go, wow, look at that 327% sales increase. Wow, look at my ROI. Me as the person with that behind the marketing, yeah, sure, that's nice. But 2.8 million views, you can't buy that. You can't manufacture that. That's real. That's real. There's new people. Remember my story about the projector? 2.8 million people saw this, So now just get more and more people. If you do that 2.8 million people, show them, give them their 10 to 12 touch points, imagine what your sales are going to be. That right there is You can't buy that. You can't buy that. It's magic.
Absolutely. Virality could be seen in views and engagement. Sales are a is an effect of virality, but the virality is what we're going for. The views, the engagement, the eyeballs, the people finding out about a projector they didn't know you sold. Now, if you do it correctly, like we're going to probably delve into the off of Amazon a little bit more, but if you can use all of the marketing strategies and you can use top of funnel, you can then get them into your funnel and retarget them and start to do coupon strategies and different things. Then you really are starting to control lookalike audiences, and this is really where it gets exciting. Which we're going to have to do an episode on breaking that down. That's definitely another episode. But yeah, 2.8 million views is awesome. That's a lot.
All right. So we've covered this in a previous episode, but we're going to do it again just because it goes hand in hand with what we've said. So implementation roadmap. Week 1, prep. Set up TikTok Shop business account. Upload product catalog with detailed descriptions. Define campaign goals and success metrics. Week 2. Launch Open Collab. Create Open Collab submission with competitive terms. Develop clear creative brief and guidelines. Begin reviewing applications and approving creators. I think they skipped this there's a little step missing there. Refining your communication to the creators. Guys, if your communication to the creators is some chat GPT crap that you're just sending out to 6,000 qualified people, do not expect them to respond. You're creating spam. You're just spamming people. Think about the way that you would like to be spoken to and what would catch your eye if you were doing that job. Out of all the thousands and thousands of people sending them messages that they have to scan through, what's going to make them choose and at least read your message? Okay, so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these things are best practices, which are fantastic, but you set up your account. I typically do it in a 4-phase. I say set up, content accumulation, conversion, and scale. And this is done on a product basis, but you set up your account. And the setting up account can be very detailed. Honestly, we could make an episode just on the pitfalls of that and the different apps, and that's honestly a good idea. We should probably do one on doing that. But then the next one is content accumulation. Typically, now that keep in mind we're only referring to cold start, so I typically like to get 50 videos before we start advertising. Once we start advertising, I like to then look at the data. The data will tell you how your content is doing, how you're converting, gives you good information. And the KPI that they use in advertising that I can get an indicator of is called cost per acquisition. And so I like to look at the 7-day compared to the 30-day to see whether we're going up, we're going down. And I like to see how things are going. So if you start turn it on and you got a cost per acquisition of $14, you optimize the listing, you work on maybe your creator brief, maybe you work on whatever it is, and then next thing you know, your cost per acquisition comes down to $8. Well, that's a very good indicator that it's time to scale and kind of put a little bit more money behind it and see what it can do. I typically would say the conversion stage is under 10,000. Once you exceed 10,000, you can easily go from 10 to 50 in a matter of 45 days. It is a rocket ride. It's a lot of fun. I would say that Amazon is more like the New York Stock Exchange, and TikTok is more like Bitcoin.
So funny. Yes, probably pretty good. All right. Final thoughts. Performance media. Creator marketing has evolved from optional branding, really optional branding. I mean, I used to run Instagram influencer marketing. It was optional. In fact, it was if you could afford it. All right. And it's changed to essential performance channels. You can't not do it. And then scale with speed. TikTok's built-in tools allow for rapid testing and expansion. Test and optimize, start small, analyze results, double down on what works. I think that's marketing 101. But yes, it's true. And then build relationships. Now, Eric, I know you hit this home every episode, every time. Build relationships. Long-term creator partnerships deliver compounding returns. That's it. That. If everyone says, what's the magic bullet? That's it. You go through all this work just to find out who sells your product and then you never talk to them. Come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing? You got to talk to these people. They got to be your best friend. Invite them over for a grill, give them a beer, send them a birthday present, whatever you got to do.
Absolutely. If you make over 50K for a brand that I work with, I have your phone number on my phone. We are friends. I'm going to call you personally on the phone, and we are going to do whatever it takes to see what we can make this relationship go further. What do you need to make more content? Because whatever you're doing is epic, and it's honestly imperative to the brand's success. And that's a partnership that with you get 5 or 10 people like that, you're talking about a 7, 8 figure brand, massive growth, and that comes from the building relationships. The end goal of everything on TikTok is the relationships you have with the creator. Essentially, TikTok is just creator management, and it's getting more competitive every day. A lot of creators are trying to just do like retainer farming, and they're just trying to, and it's getting more expensive. And the barrier to enter in e-commerce is getting harder and harder every year. It used to be where you could just sell on Amazon, you'd be okay. Now you have to do Amazon, TikTok, D2C. You have to have affiliates. You have to have this. You have to have that. You have to have a budget. It's really becoming the barrier to enter is a lot higher. And honestly, that's why you need people that know what they're doing, so that they can take the time and save you the $10,000 to $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 you could do in mistakes, and actually help you do it right the first time. The purpose of an agency is to help you eliminate a lot of the mistakes, a lot of the trial and error, and start with best practices and give you the best chance for success from the beginning. And so if anybody needs any help with their first collab, just comment, or we're going to put a Calendly link, and we'll be happy to jump on a call and see if there's something that we can help you with.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, this has been great, guys. I'm 10 minutes late for an interview for a new staff member. Like we spoke about, squeezing this in.
It is with the honestly, we run a business of our own. We have 10 to 20 employees. We understand the difficulties, and honestly, what is the biggest difficulty? What it is for us, it's employee management, which is it's a never-ending wheel. People are coming in, people are going. Not enough training. It's a never-ending. It's a never-ending because also the space is constantly changing, and so what you need is constantly changing, and it's just it's a big business, and so we've already put that time and effort into building our team, and so that's why I highly recommend to hire somebody who has a team that can bring that instant value to you, so that you don't have to build all the SOPs. You don't have to sit there and hire 10 people to find the one that actually shows up to work. And this is the kind of value that we can add. And I'm hoping that from all these TikTok videos that somebody's getting excited, and we've reached you and got you inspired to do TikTok if you haven't done it already.
We're here to help you guys. We dropped so many nuggets. If you really implemented every little bit that we've done from video 1 up until now, you're probably going to do very well. But we know running a business is more than just marketing. So that's why we're here, to help you. So yeah, get hold of us. Let us help you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys soon. See you in the next episode.